Hello and welcome to the Easy Peasy Music Theory course for kids. I'm Miss Christine. We have more learning to do, so let's get to our next lesson. All right, and welcome to lesson 16. We're talking about measures, bar lines, and double bar lines. So I'm going to share my screen right now. All right, so we're going to talk about organizing music first. And it's important to realize that the duration of a note, time, is measured in beats, right? And we talked about rhythm. And rhythm is a pattern of long and short sounds or beats. And we're going to talk more about how we organize this music. So most of the music in our culture is organized to sound good to us. That's why we love it. And to do this, we arrange music in patterns or timing, like poetry, or even the way we speak. So let's talk about this. So often music is organized in beats of 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And so we're going to take a quick listen and I'm going to better explain it. So here I have 4 circles and I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. And we're going to really emphasize on the first circle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so often music is arranged in patterns of 4 beats. All right. Now let's take a listen. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. All right. So when you were listening to that beat, you can hear the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And so it was organized in patterns of 4 beats. Now let's listen to another clip, but this time we only have 3 circles, 1, 2, and 3, right? And remember, we're going to emphasize that red circle with a little bit of emphasis stronger. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And sometimes music has a pattern of just 3 beats, okay? And so we're going to take a listen right now. Let's listen. And you can get your 3 fingers and you can hear 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 as you listen along. Here we go. All right, and so when you heard that audio clip, you can hear 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that is just a nice, real simple pattern of 3 beats. Okay, so let's learn some more. Sometimes we have music that's written just for, that's right, 2 beats. Whoops, let's get a pen here that you can see. 1, 2. That's it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so let's listen. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to stop it there. So clearly you can hear the 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, almost like you're marching, marching, marching. Okay, good work. Okay, now there are other beat patterns as well. Okay, but these patterns or arrangements of beats create the timing of music. So we call them time signature. But for now, we'll be focusing on music written in groups of 4, like our time signature, which tells us how many beats there are in a group. And these groups are called measures, which is very important. Right here is a measure, and you can think of it like a rectangular box. This is a measure, all right here. This is a measure, and this is a measure, okay? And it's also worth mentioning that the time signature is also known as meter, okay? So here is our time signature. You already know that this is a treble clef, and it is made up of two numbers that are stacked on top of each other. So this is 4/4, a 4/4 time signature. And the time signature's top number tells us that there are 4 beats in a measure. Okay, remember that rectangular box that I showed you? Okay, and this means that the total duration of notes and rest in each measure will equal to 4. So here we have 4 quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything equals to the top number, which is 4 beats. So 4 beats in each measure or per measure. Let's talk about the bottom number. And so the bottom number in a 4/4 time signature tells us that the quarter note, okay, so if I was to put a little equal sign, the quarter note gets 1 beat. And so here it is down here. And so when we see that 4, it's letting us know that the quarter note is going to get 1 beat. And now we're going to talk about bar lines. And bar lines are lines that separate the measures. So before I had my rectangular box, but we have a little bar line. Here's a bar line. These bar lines separate the measures. Okay, so if you were to pretend that if I was just to make a rectangular box, this is our measure. But we don't need to have a rectangular box when we have bar lines to help us organize the measures. So once you have your bar lines, which is just a straight line dividing our measures or separating our measures, okay? All right, excellent. And the double bar, okay, is placed at the end of a piece, a double bar line. And you can see it right here. It's really one line that's filled in a little bit darker or thicker, and then another line, okay? And so this is our bar line at the end of our music. So we're going to now add the bar lines, and we'll also add a double bar line. So here we have 4 for time signature, and we know that the top number is going to tell us that we need 4 beats. So if I was to draw a couple of quarter notes, right? Not the best quarter notes. Here's our 4 quarter notes. Every measure has to equal 4 beats. And because we have the bottom number is 4, we know that the quarter note is going to get 1 beat. So let's see if we can organize our music. Okay, I have my bar line here. Let's see. A half note gets 2 beats, and a quarter rest gets 1 beat, and a quarter note gets 1 beat. And if we were to add this up, 2 plus 1 equals 3, and 3 plus 1 equals 4. And so this would mean that I need to add a bar line to create my first measure. Good job. And everything equals 4 beats. 4 beats in a measure. Here I have a quarter note plus a quarter note plus a quarter note plus another quarter note. And 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals, that is correct, 4 beats. So I can add my bar line here, and a whole note, remember that whole donut gets 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're at the end of our score, our piece, and I'm going to now add a double bar line. So here's 1, and I'm going to add a double, make it 2, and there is the end. And look at that. Doesn't that look wonderful? All right. Excellent, excellent work. And let's talk about what you learned in class today. All right, so what did we learn today? Well, we know that music is divided into small sections called what? Measures. And if it helps, you can think of an imaginary rectangular box. The time signature tells us how many beats there are in a measure, right? We also talked about each measure has a set number of beats based on the time signature. So for example, 4/4 time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 beats in that 4/4 time signature. And bar lines divide the staff into measures. And of course, that double bar line is placed at the end of the musical piece. So great work today. And let's talk about the homework, all right? Well, today you have to cut out the answers below. So you'll see the answer key down here and paste them in the box to complete the sentence correctly. So that is what you have to do for this lesson. And I think you'll do an excellent job. All right, great work today talking about bar lines, measures, and double bar lines. All right, I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye for now.